We met while working part-time at a local cinema, and there we were, sweeping up leftover popcorn, when she said, "What's this?" In her right hand, there was a tool belt. The projector had probably malfunctioned and some repairman forgot his equipment. As a joke, I said, "Didn't you know a construction worker died when they were building this place?" From that moment on, she wouldn't set foot inside Screen 6. Didn't want to risk bumping into a ghost, you see. I thought it was cute, and just a few weeks later my girlfriend ghosted me, so I asked Emma if she'd like to grab a coffee sometime. Rather than directly tell her about the urban legend, I left some reading material scattered around. And when she suggested a different location for the camping trip, all while doing a terrible job of masking her anxiety, I knew it was game on. In between a scattering of skeletal trees, I set up our tent. Oh sure, Emma begged me to find a better, aka less scary, spot, but at the same time, the soles of her feet were raw slabs of beef from the 20-mile hike, so she eventually relented. After we tucked into a pot of beef stew, we turned in for the night. Knowing the first sudden noise would spook her, I waited. Out of nowhere, she sat bolt upright in her sleeping bag. "What the fuck was that?" We listened as wind howled through the trees. I pretended a dry cramp seized my throat. "It's the tall man." She threw her arms around me, her eyes pooling with tears. "Make it stop, please." In a high, frightened voice, I said, "The legends say the only way is to confess our sins. What bad things have we done?" Unable to speak, she just lay there, trembling. Secretly rolling my eyes but outwardly maintaining the act, I said, "I'll go first. The last house I rented, I salted the garden because the landlord wouldn't return my deposit. And last month, I accidentally stole a Mars bar and didn't go back to pay for it." She took several deep, shuddery breaths. "I killed your college girlfriend, the one you were dating when we first met. I slit her throat and filled her backpack with rocks and dumped her body in the Blackstaff River." While I lay there, shocked, tree branches scraped together roughly, Emma squealed and quickly added, "And I killed that intern at your work too. The flirty one. I cut her up and dumped the pieces in a landfill." Outside, the wind eased and the forest went back to sleep. After 10 seconds of dead silence, Emma let out a sigh of relief and then pulled me in close. Voiceover. And that's how our dark love story began. In the eerie silence of the woods, the shocking confessions echoed, giving a new meaning to our relationship. Emma, the woman I loved, was a murderer. But strangely, the revelation didn't breed fear but a bizarre sense of acceptance. As we lay there under the canopy of stars and secrets, we made a silent pact. A pact to stay together, not out of fear, but out of a twisted sense of love. The morning sun peeked through the dense foliage, casting long shadows of truth and love. As we packed up our camping gear, the weight of our confessions seemed lighter. The forest, once a place of fear, now stood witness to our dark love story. As we headed back to our mundane lives, we knew our relationship was forever changed. But strangely, we were looking forward to it. As we left the woods behind, we knew our love story, as dark and twisted as it was just beginning.